Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Our visit in Matsuyama has come to an end and it's time to pack up and head to our next destination. In this week's episode, we enjoy a 4.5-hour train trip with lots of beautiful scenery and a stop midway where we found some unexpectedly amazing baked goods. Before we get into it, please do us a favor and give the video a like. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button and the little notification bell so you don't miss any future episodes. Let's go. Good morning.
Good morning.
We've woken up, onsen, and come down to another wonderful breakfast here at our ryokan in Matsuyama. It is a really good spread.
I love that they mix traditional Japanese food with Western Japanese food for their breakfast feast.
Yes. I wonder if they do that for us or if that's just a common thing for everybody. I'm not sure. It is always something a little bit different. It's the same type of dishes, but just different preparation. For example, there's always egg. Yesterday was the Japanese egg omelet. Today is a fried egg. There's always fish. Yesterday was a piece of fish. Today is a whole flattened fish. So it's always interesting, and they always mix it up so you don't have the same thing over and over again. So really enjoy that. After today's breakfast, we have a little bit of time left in the room, and then we have to head out of here. We're both a bit bummed about that. We really enjoyed this place. Really enjoyed Matsuyama for our second visit, and really enjoyed this ryokan. It is really amazing. Yeah. But we have a new destination to head off to. We have a bit of a train trip, and looking forward to exploring a brand new place for us in Japan.
Yeah.
Wow, that was a bit of a whirlwind morning. After breakfast, we shipped another bag away to our final destination. We got a taxi to the train station, and now we're just here at the train station. We have a little bit of time because we came a bit early just to make sure we didn't run into any problems. And so that gives me some time to talk to my buddy, Anpanman. And Anpanman and I are just discussing what Nicole and I can get up to at our next destination. He's got some really great recommendations. I'm really looking forward to checking some of those out. That restaurant you mentioned sounds really good, so we'll definitely make reservations for that. But sounds like the next spot's gonna be really interesting, and Anpanman fully approved. And just wanna thank you, Anpanman, for helping me sort out some ideas on what to do. So I'm gonna go back and stand with Nicole at our platform and wait for the train. Thanks again, Anpanman. Our trip today from Matsuyama to Kochi, we just spilled the beans where we're going, has us stopping in a little town called Tadotsu. And it seems like a cute little town, cute little station. There are 4 platforms. We had to transfer from platform 1 over to 4, which involves some stairs. But we had enough time, 20 minutes to do that, and then leave our bags on the platform, run out of the station. We found a bakery and a 7-Eleven. So now we've got some food for our next 2 hours of this leg.
I'm shocked about the bakery because this is kind of, from what we can see, a bit of a one-horse town, but the bakery is so happening. They had a huge selection. Everything was really fresh, and they're actually still pulling in fresh stuff as we were there. And I'm like, who's gonna eat all these baked goods? I'm
looking forward to what we picked up. We'll share it with you when we're on the train. Should be here momentarily. Our train meal is laid out and ready to go. So we got 3 different buns. What did you pick?
I picked the delicious melon bun.
Yes, it's kind of like a Hong Kong style pineapple bun, except it's called a melon bun, but it's the same concept. I think the bread is the bread, and it's the topping that makes it look like a melon. That is why they call it a melon bun. It's not actually flavored like a melon. I picked a French toast egg salad sandwich, which looks pretty epic. And then you spotted a deep fried donut with a stuffing, which sounds very interesting. Butter chicken. We're gonna tuck into these and see how they are.
My bun is hefty, heavier than I thought it would be. It's definitely sticky. The top part is very sugary and the bottom part is quite moist. I like to eat chopping side down so my tongue gets to have contact with the good stuff first. It's definitely not a pineapple bun. It has pineapple bun qualities, but the texture of the topping is completely different. This one is a much softer, denser topping, and the bottom part is more of a white bread than it is. Yeah, actually the bottom part just tastes like white bread with a very sugary topping. I give it a solid 8.
That's pretty good.
Yeah?
Let's go tuck into mine. I'm gonna start with the French toast with egg salad, and I think there might be ham in here as well. The crust is very crunchy here, and it's very quite sweet French toast, which goes really interestingly with the ham and the egg salad. It is ham. This is really good. Let's try the donut. It's actually quite soft. It's a lot softer than I was expecting when I picked it up. I thought it would be a little bit like crunchier or firmer on the outside, but it's got good spring to it. So this is supposed to be filled with butter chicken. Wow. The outside's super crunchy. Not in a flaky way, but in like an actual crunchy way, kind of like a tonkatsu crunchy way, like a breaded and deep fried kind of way. The butter chicken filling is creamy, but it's got that butter chicken flavor down packed. That's really surprising. These are both very surprising, very good. I'm happy that we had time to run out of the train station and find that bakery because we were both hungry, but this is really just interesting finds. I'm loving these. So we're gonna devour these, and then I guess we'll see you in Kochi. Welcome to Kochi! We made it!
Hey! So Michael,
Yes?
you know earlier when you were talking to your buddy and he was recommending Kochi,
Yes?
do you think that he might have been a bit biased?
I'm starting to get that impression. I think it's time to explain Anpanman. Anpanman is the main character from a 1970s children's cartoon which over time spawned into manga, anime, video games, and anything else you could slap his image onto. Anpanman beat out Hello Kitty in the early 2000s to become Japan's top grossing character. The reason why Anpanman is such a thing around here is because his creator, Takashi Yanase, was born in Kochi. Anpanman is going to be a recurring character in our next few episodes. Anpanman's not the only mascot holding down the fort here at the station. Not quite sure what that's the mascot of, but he's looking pretty happy. We haven't even left the station yet. Ice cream time! Outside Kochi's great train station is this amazing tourist center. It's a beautiful building and extremely well presented inside. We already have a plan for our full day in Kochi tomorrow, but it's good to know that if you roll into Kochi without a plan, that will be quickly rectified with a visit into the tourist center. There is so much to do in and around Kochi that we're going to have to plan a return visit in the future. Since we know what we're getting up to, let's hustle over to the tram station and make our trip to the hotel. We're finally at the hotel and ready to see what our room has in store for us. We booked a Japanese style room in a hotel that we're never quite sure how to describe. In many ways it looks like a hotel, but has tatami rooms and onsen. Let us know in the comments below what style establishment this is. Did you have a good public onsen experience this time?
This was a megally good public onsen. The place was so nice. It was empty when I went, so I got to have the public pool that's outside all to myself, and they had amenities up the wazoo.
I wasn't quite as alone as you. I started off with a lot of people, but by the time I got showered and got into the actual bath, no one else was in there really. There was one other guy, but he was in the sauna, so I had the indoor and outdoor pool to myself. It was amazing. That's the experience that we were talking about yesterday. We were talking about Dogo Onsen experience, how they had nothing there. It was just go in, bathe, and get out. This one was the complete opposite, what you would expect. It was really good.
I splashed on, or I applied like 5 different lotions. They was all there. It was all in Japanese. I didn't know what was for what, so I went and I just applied everything, and I am smooth like a baby's bum right now, all over.
Excellent. And just in time for dinner. So we went into the onsen pretty much when we checked in. We went upstairs, changed, and went to the onsen. And then after that was done, it was pretty much time to come down for dinner. And we came down for another ryokan style meal.
This is probably the only other time we've had this type of dining. When we first started, dining was usually in the room.
Yeah, they don't do that very often anymore.
No.
It's unfortunate.
That was one of my
enjoy
favorite,
that.
yeah. And then usually 99% of the time, or 95% of the time, it's private dining. So you do get your own room, even if you have to take the elevator down to the dining area.
To the restaurant.
Yeah.
They usually have separate rooms in the restaurant where they
private.
can seat you. Yeah. This is not that.
This just feels like a restaurant. So I'm a little bit disappointed, but I feel so good from the onsen that I don't care.
Yeah, and the spread is usually always waiting for you. So all the food, not all of it, but a lot of it's already laid out. And when we came down, it was covered. I should have got that. I didn't get that, unfortunately. And then they just exposed it to us, and it looks actually really good. I'm really looking forward to tucking in. I do prefer the private dining experience. I don't like being out in the open with everybody, but it is what it is tonight. And the food, I'm just gonna get absorbed in the food because it does look really good. And I see 2 flaming pots, so not quite sure what those are yet, but I'm looking forward to finding out.
I'm going to dive into the first course, which is basically many small little dishes. This one looks a bit challenging even for me, so I'm going to go in with the safe option, the squid option. Most people wouldn't think that that's a safe option, but I think given the items on here, I think the squid one is the safest one. The squid is absolutely fantastic because it's a little bit spicy. I think they marinated it, or they've mixed it in with cod roe, so you can taste all the little eggs covering the squid. That one's super, super good. Other items look very vegetable-y or root vegetable-y. I'm excited to try the conch because that one, it looks very scary. In general, I do like my animals that come in its own shell. Yes, he looks absolutely unappealing, but he tastes very, very good. He's chewy. There's no fishy taste at all. This is a really fresh sea flavor. I would describe it as tasting very, very delicious, maybe like rubber bands. And I know that doesn't sound like a good description, but it is very delicious.
Nicole's description did not really inspire confidence that I'm gonna like this thing. It's quite outside my comfort zone. It looks really kind of gnarly, but I'm gonna give it a try and see what it tastes like. It's definitely chewy. I don't think that's my favorite piece of food on this plate. But it's definitely chewy, like Nicole said. I'm just not sure how to describe that flavor. It's pretty foreign to me. I'm glad there's only one. Let's just leave it at that.
Yep, thank you.
I'm really curious what this red piece of sushi is. It kind of has the color of tuna, nice bright red tuna, but it's a little too red for tuna, so I'm not quite sure what this could be. It's a piece of red pepper. It's a really, really good, strong red pepper flavor paired with the rice, and I feel like they might have put something underneath it, a little bit of sauce, which gives it a bit of sweetness. I can't place it. That was excellent. I could eat 5 of those. I'd order a whole plate of those. That was really good. And it accompanied this, which kind of looks like a nari, a bean curd covered rice ball, but this has more of a jelly consistency. I'm not too sure what that is. The rice is a little bit sour. They vinegared it quite a lot to go along with this gummy kind of consistency wrapping. And they've chopped up really finely carrots and maybe some mushroom into the rice. That was the last item on my first course. We have an amazing sashimi spread in front of us here. Let's tuck into that. Nicole's already tucked into our sashimi plate and tried most of the fish that's on there, except for one, which is a bonito. And bonito is quite a big, hearty fish, and it looks like they've seared the outside of it and left the inside raw. And we've been instructed to take a slice of the bonito, put it in a plate, add a slice of garlic, and then use a special sauce, which is a ponzu sauce. Ponzu is a citrus fruit here in Japan, and you use that on instead of just a normal soy sauce. So that's what I've done. I've prepared a slice here, and I'm looking down, so I'm trying to pick it up so I can eat it. So let's give this a try. That is a very interesting mix of very strong flavors. The garlic obviously is a strong flavor. The ponzu is quite a strong flavor. And the fish can handle that. The fish is very hearty. It's kind of got a tuna consistency, like a raw tuna consistency. It's quite firm. And I can get some of the grilling on the outside of that. It's coming through. A little bit of the smokiness. That is exceptional. Nicole said I could have 2 of her pieces, and I am not going to complain. That is excellent. Our meat course tonight is pork. And I'm pretty excited about that because that's something different than what we've been having lately. And it's very thinly shaved, fatty pork cooked inside a domed vessel. I'm not exactly sure the correct name for it, but it's like a casserole kind of thing on top of a flame. So it's cooked at the table. It was raw before she lit the flame underneath, but it is ready to eat now. The fat just melts away, and the vegetable flavors that are coming through really strongly. It was cooked with some tomato and some greens, and I think it's absorbed some of that flavor, some of that juice from those vegetables. That is a stellar dish. I'm gonna put you down before it gets overcooked.
Oh my gosh, this is really exciting. She just brought out a little mini lobster thermidor. Okay, it's not lobster, it's just a giant shrimp, but he looks like a small lobster, and it's baked with cheese, and I think I couldn't understand the sauce that she was explaining to me because she was speaking Japanese, but either way, I see this and I think lobster thermidor. So I dug a piece out with my little utensil. The cheese, the meat, and the sauce go together so well. And I think what I like about it the most is that they've grilled it. So the grilled flavor actually is stronger than the cheese, because Japanese cheese is pretty mild. So I just taste the grilled, I want to say lobster meat, but I know the shrimp meat, the grilled crustacean meat. It is so yummy.
I've been instructed to try the shrimp thermidor before it gets cold, because I've been chowing down on that bonito fish with the garlic slice and the ponzu sauce, which is really good. I think that's my favorite dish so far that we've had. Although the pork, I just looked over and saw the pork dish, that's also really good. But let's try this shrimp. So I got some of the sauce and the cheese and a bit of shrimp meat. She said this sauce was made with soy milk. I don't think Nicole caught that. I do taste a little bit of the soy coming through. I'm not sure about this dish. I might give it to Nicole. You want mine? She's shaking her head yes. It's not bad. It's just not my thing, I don't think. I'm not sure why. I'm gonna go back to the bonito. Well, I gave Nicole the rest of my shrimp. What I won't give her from this plate is this little chestnut. I'm hoping it's candied. It has grill marks on it. I love this kind of chestnut preparation. Let's try it and see if I'm right. It's super soft. It's probably been roasted and then somehow put these grill marks on, either by using like hot metal skewers. They just kind of singed it, or maybe they did throw it on the grill for a couple seconds. It's sweet. I'm glad I didn't accidentally give that to Nicole. Our fried dish has come, and it's tempura. We've got 2 tempura shrimp, some shiitake mushroom, some nori or seaweed sheets that have been deep fried, and some ginger that's been really finely chopped up and made into sort of like a ball and then deep fried. And it came with a side of kombu salt, which is also a type of seaweed. I'm gonna try, let me show you the ginger. I'll try that first. So here's the ginger. It kind of looks like a nest. Dip it into the salt a little bit. It's super, super crunchy. It's not just ginger, there's something else in here. There's some green flecks. I'm trying to decide what I think this might be. I'm not 100% sure, but it's really good. The crispiness is almost like eating chips. Very interesting, very good, but very interesting. Never had something like this before. Let's try one of the 2 shrimp. And get some of the salt on there. Wow. That batter is super light and super thin. It's very delicate. The shrimp is cooked perfectly. It didn't look that hot when it was put down, because the shrimp, the color, I would like tempura to be a little bit darker, just a bit. But this is incredible. This is really good. All right, we'll see you at the next dish.
If I have to eat something green, then deep fried green ball of vegetable is it. It tastes like kale chips, but it's actually deep fried nori. This is part of my tempura dish. The batter, the oil, the taste of the oil, and the crunchy texture has covered up all trace of healthiness. I don't think there's any vitamins left. It's been fried out of it, but they're very delicious.
The second flaming pot, which is kind of the nickname we've given these things. This is not the official name, but that's what we call them whenever we see the pot set up with the flame underneath. It's a flaming pot. The second one was rice, and there's a bunch of ingredients mixed in with rice, and then it's cooked at the table. So this was cooking for 30 minutes. It took 30 minutes for this to complete, and it's been steaming away beside us here for the last 30 minutes, but it's ready to go. So our last course has begun. It is the rice course, and there's always a rice course to end a kaiseki meal before dessert, and it comes with Japanese pickles and soup usually. This is a very clear broth soup. It's not miso, and there is a ball of some sort inside and some mushrooms. But I'm really interested to try this rice. It looks really good. She scooped it out for us, and it's sitting here taunting me. So let's try it. I think she said it's bonito, so which is the same fish that we were having with the garlic slices with dinner. I think that's what she said, bonito.
It's delicious.
The rice has a perfect consistency. It's not mushy or firm. It's just nice and soft, and the bonito gives it a really nice fishy flavor. Like, you eat this and you actually think of fish. So good. The bonito is all flaky, kind of like a canned tuna, like that kind of consistency, but really finely flaked. And you get the odd bit of sweetness in this as well, and that's because there's ume, which is Japanese preserved plum. Wow, that's really good. I think I need to put you down and eat this up. Our dessert course has come. We finished everything else, and it's time to finish off with some dessert. Came with some fresh fruit and some sherbet, some yuzu sherbet, which is their citrus that we had in the sauce earlier. It's a very good sherbet. Not super icy like some sherbets can be. It's still a bit creamy, but it has that amazing yuzu flavor. And if you ever had yuzu, you know what I'm talking about. It's not quite orange, but it's that citrus, tart citrus flavor.
Are you sure you like it? Do you want me to take the ball off of you?
I'm not sure if you can hear that, but Nicole's asking if I'm sure I like it and if I want her to take the ball off my hands. I'm pretty sure I like it, and no, I will keep the ball right here. Whew, dinner was really good. I'm stuffed, and I had quite a bit of sake, so I'm feeling pretty dopey. And we're just walking to our room, anticipating our beds being made. So at this ryokan, it's a little bit more traditional. Unlike the last one where we had Western style beds, this place here has one big room, and they change it up during the day. So during the daytime, it's set up with a table, and then at nighttime, that's going to be pushed aside and beds are going to be made. And we're hoping that that has already been done. Let's find out. Are you excited to see if we have beds?
My fingers are crossed.
Here's our room. Beds have been made. So at a ryokan, you would sleep on futons, and that's what we have set up here. You get a nice big fluffy comforter that they wrap in this special sheet, and then a couple of little mattresses on the floor, kind of like pads that they double up on and then wrap a sheet around. We're so excited to get into bed. It's probably the earliest we'd be going to bed for quite a while on this trip. It's maybe 9:30, and
That's very early.
Yeah, it's very early, but we have a full day to explore Kochi tomorrow. It's our only full day in Kochi, so we have to pack as much in as possible. We're gonna need a good sleep. I'm feeling pretty tired after today's train travel, and then onsenning and the sake and all that food. So I think I'm gonna sleep really well tonight, and I'm really excited about our first stop for tomorrow. I've been excited about this since I put Kochi on the itinerary. It was one of the main reasons why I chose Kochi. So let's get to sleep and get up and start exploring Kochi. Good night.
Good night.
Thanks so much for watching the video. We hope you enjoyed coming along with us as we made our way to Kochi. If you enjoyed the video, please let us know by giving it a like down below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the little notification bell so you don't miss the next episode. We'll see you next week.